Alright, hello and welcome to another UltimateGameHost video tutorial. We're going to deviate a little bit away from the normal tutorials, as this time I just wanted to show folks on YouTube and anyone who's wondering how we get the quality out of the videos that we do for desktop capture. It's something I only recently figured out and wanted to share. So I'll go ahead and bring in to view the recording program that we use. It's called Cam Studio. And I forget the company that makes this, but RenderSoft, okay, version 2.00. Their website's listed there, but I'll include one in the description to this program as well. It's a good screen capture program. What I've set up is not capturing full screen. It's capturing actually a space here that's like 1281 by 721 for the region. And what I did there was I went to region and then fixed region and set it to the top left corner of my screen, 25 pixels from the left, 25 pixels from the top, and 1281 by 721. I did that because when I try to record in native 720 at 1280 by 720, weird things happen. The program crashes for me, and it might just be something with mine. So I'll hit OK on that. As far as the video of the capture itself, we're using the lossless codec, version 1.4, quality set to 100 and keyframes every 30 frames. Capture frames every 33 milliseconds, the playback rate of 30 frames per second without the auto adjust, because we want to leave it to gather the same amount of frames the whole time without, otherwise it starts to think about how complicated what stuff is on the screen and it tries to adjust dynamically for that, and you end up with some undesired results. So you want to keep the quality consistent. And if I go to configure on that, I believe I've left everything with this at the default settings. So that's what the video options are. And if we look at the audio, it's just record audio from microphones. So what I've done here in Windows 7 is set up my default recording device to go to a separate audio processor outside the computer, but you can use your own desktop microphone if you want. I'm using a Line 6 Pod Studio UX2 USB audio interface for this, actually. And for this video, I've just recently got a new microphone. It's a Shure PG57 XLR mic that I've got hooked up through that. So that's where the audio comes from. And once this program's done, I won't do it now because it'll stop what I'm recording. When you stop this from recording, it will ask you where to save the AVI file, and then you end up with maybe a 3-4 gig AVI file, depending how long you were recording and what was going on the screen at the time. And from there, I take this into another free program called Virtual Dub, created by Mr. Avery Lee. It's version 1.9.8 that I have here. And I'll show you some of the settings. I have a preset loaded for taking one of our tutorial videos from the raw AVI that Cam Studio exports and putting it directly into the same format that we upload to YouTube. So we'll start with video and compression. And this is where I had to get and install the XVID MPEG-4 codec to get this to work, and I'll include a link as well for that. And you can see the settings that we're using here. Again, the main settings: unrestricted, single pass, only a 2.08 on the quantizer. XVID does really well for YouTube, so we just go with that. And I didn't set anything on the other tabs for that. So the video codec itself is fairly straightforward. Where we do a couple other things is in the filters for the video. So here we have a, it's called a null transform filter, and I just added that to it by clicking add and then picking the null transform. There's tons of different effects in there. Or actually, sorry, it's a resize. Resize, not null transform. And the resize just takes the input video and puts it into 1280 by 720, so it's at the same resolution that we want for YouTube for the 720p format for the HD. And we also put our little logo in there, and I'll look at the configure on that as well. So all I'm doing is pointing to a bitmap file, and you can see the other settings I have here. The opacity set to 20%, and the justification, these are top left, top center, top right, bottom left, bottom center, and bottom right's the one we use, so it puts that cool little logo down in the left that you see. And that's pretty much it for video settings. As far as audio goes, I've just got the lame MP3 codec set up with 48 Hertz, 192 kilobits per second stereos. I find that to be sufficient quality for these videos. And the only other program we use, some of the in-game footage we capture with Fraps, which is a separate program for the capture. And I'll see if I can get that up and running in a second here to show you. Alright, so I just managed to bring Fraps up here to show you some of the settings for this program. It's Fraps 3.1.2. It's the full version of it. And all I've got set up, you know, hit scroll lock to start capturing video, 30 frames per second, full size, and record the Windows 7 sound. And when we process Fraps afterwards, we use the same settings in VirtuaDub on the raw AVIs. And you got to be careful with this program because it takes a lot of hard drive space. So I've got about a terabyte of hard drive space on that D drive that you see there available for capturing, because it can add up quite a lot quite quickly. If there are any other questions about the equipment or anything else, just feel free to ask them in the comments below. And thank you for watching, and look forward to some more video tutorials from us.